Dominating the town of Duskendale and the surrounding lands, the Darklyns ruled as petty kings of the First Men from the ancestral seat known as the Dunfort. With the help of their loyal bannermen of House Hollard, the Darklyns would sometimes extend their power as far as Crackler Point, but were unable to ever consolidate their rule. In the years following the Andal invasion, their lands would be disputed by several larger Andal kingdoms, such as the Storm Kings and the House Durrandon, or the River Kings of the Trident. Yet with the beginning of Aegon's conquest, their times as kings were finally over. After being defeated along with their allies of House Mutin of Maidenpool, the Darklyns bent the knee and would proceed to serve the Targaryens as proud lords of Duskendale. For decades, their loyalty to the Dragon Lords would be unquestioned, and the Darklyn Lords often boasted that they provided more sons to serve as members of the Kingsguard than any other house in Westeros. This fact is even represented in their coat of arms, with 7 white shields indicating their devotion to the Kingsguard. However, under the rule of Denys Darklyn, relations with the Targaryens quickly deteriorated. When King Aerys II denied a request to grant Duskendale a new town charter, Lord Denys in turn refused to pay more taxes to the crown. Wishing to separate himself from his hand Lord Tywin Lannister, King Aerys decided to deal with the matter on his own, and traveled with one Kingsguard knight and a small force of men to Duskendale in order to execute Lord Darklyn. But when he arrived at the gates of the Dunfort, his Kingsguard Gwaine Gaunt was slain by Simon Hollard, and Aerys himself was imprisoned. Many believe Lord Denys Darklyn acted under the bad influence of his wife, the Lady Sarala of Myr, a foreign witch worshipping a false god. Whatever the case, the imprisonment of the king would lead to an armed conflict with the crown, which came to be known as the Defiance of Duskendale. Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Chief Gironca and today I will start a new Let's Play series here on my channel, and I hope that this little introduction has already put you in the right mood for the roleplay series that I'm about to start. Now I let you guys choose which series you wanted to see next, and it was very close between all 3 different factions, but eventually House Darklyn got the most votes, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna play as House Darklyn, and I actually decided that we're gonna start during the very last time that you can play as a Darklyn, because after Defiance of Duskendale, if you don't know that, after Defiance of Duskendale, the Darklyns became extinct. So this is the very last time you can play as a Darklyn family member. And we obviously try to not become extinct, and we'll see how we fare. Now, I have to mention a couple things before we actually get started. First of all, this campaign is meant to be a roleplay campaign, so I will not play, try to be the best, become the best, the fastest, the richest, whatever. I will play according to the character's traits. And that's gonna influence the, basically everything and all of my actions and decisions that I do. So, if you want to see some min-maxing, then you have come to the wrong place. Also, a couple things I need to mention. I have several submods enabled that's gonna make it easier for me to, kind of have a more immersion into the game. The first submod is known or called the Cogenital Overhaul. Then we have the More Decision submod, and lastly the Challenge to Duel submod, which allows me to basically just challenge everyone to a either friendly duel or a duel of death, basically. And lastly, I want to talk about the Crusader Kings 2 mechanics here, because they make things a little bit, unrealistic. First of all, we're currently in the Defiance of Duskendale. We have King Aerys II imprisoned. Now the problem about this is that we are at 100 war score right now, and this is not going to change no matter how many castles we lose, how many battles we fight and lose. As long as we have King Aerys imprisoned and are not imprisoned ourselves, we have 100% war score. So that makes things a little bit weird, because we could obviously enforce our demands immediately. We could offer peace right now, enforce demands, he would say yes because he has no other chance. Now, enforcing demands would actually just lower the crown authority, and we would gain 100 prestige, which doesn't really seem, interesting. It kind of seems very anticlimactic. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna go forward, once I've set up everything, and we're gonna give Tywin Lannister and other people a chance to siege down our castle. and then we're gonna go from there. Now, another mechanic that I should mention is, right now we have the modifier rallying support. What that means is that we have sent out ravens to basically the other lords of the 7 kingdoms if they want to join us in our righteous struggle. So what could happen is that perhaps the Vale will side with us, whereas the Riverlands, Westerlands, Reach, and Stormlands will side with the king. That is possible. It doesn't necessarily mean that's going to happen, but it is possible, and I think the possibility is even increased by us having 100% war score. I'm not sure, but that definitely will create some alternative universe here. So with that being said, I think we're gonna go forward and set up all of our council. Apparently we do not have a Maester. Okay, well, let's set up these things first. We're gonna look over our character, have a look at our character later on. First of all, we have our good friend John Hollard as Castellan, and we're actually gonna make him oversee our province here, because that's just usually what you should do. Although I guess what we could do is improve defenses. Since we're about to actually fight a war, I guess put the castle in charge of inspecting. I think that actually makes more sense. Yeah, we're gonna improve the defenses of Duskendale for now. Our Justicer, Donald Buckwell, what could we do with him? We could fabricate a claim, we'd improve relations. I think what we're going to do is, we're going to actually have a look at our character first, because otherwise I can't really make any decisions. Now, we are Lord Dennis Darklyn, 18-year-old Lord of Duskendale. We are a competent steward, a knight, a trained fighter. We are currently a rebel leader. We are a very ambitious man, proud and brave, and also wroth. Very interesting, very good character this time. No content character like I had with the Beast Breeze. So that is very good. So I guess an ambitious character would certainly fabricate some claims, and as you probably remember from the introduction just a couple minutes ago, the power of House Darklyn has sometimes reached as far as Crackla Point. So it would only make sense if we would fabricate on the closest province that is not yet under our control, and that would be Rook's Rest. So let's actually send our Justicer Donald over there and fabricate a claim. Now, our Master at Arms, Clayton Birch of Birch Hall, he should probably train our troops, because we're about to fight a war. We're actually already fighting a war. Now, our Maester, there's not really much, and not our Maester, but our Treasurer, there's not really much we can do that makes sense, so we're just going to collect taxes. Our Spy Master, Lord Jamin Brindlewood, well, he doesn't actually like us that much. I think I'd rather put my mother in charge. She is paranoid and a craven, but she likes me a little bit more, so I'd rather have my mother in charge of this, I think. Yeah, let's actually change our Spy Master, although she's not as good as this guy, and he's now pissed, but I think that's still worthwhile. And we're going to scheme, obviously, in Duskendale, simply because that is the most useful thing to do. Now, we don't have a Maester at the moment, so we should probably send for someone from the Citadel. And our Septon, I think, yeah, you're just gonna do your normal thing and perform some charity. That's usually what Septons do. Now, we need to get a Maester, so we're gonna send for a Maester from the Citadel. It actually costs some gold, but that's fine. And we are also able to choose a patron aspect. This is part of the, I don't know which mod it is, if it's the More Decisions mod or the other ones, but it's just a possibility, so we're gonna do that as well. Choose a patron aspect, and I think since we're at war, it just makes sense to go with the warrior, who will guide us, hopefully, to victory. So let's do that. Okay, that is all done. Let's get an ambition. Now, since we're currently at war, I think it only makes sense that we try to win this war. So let's do that. And choose a focus. Now, this is actually a little bit more complicated, because we are a steward, so that would speak for either business or rulership focus. But we are wroth, brave, and, well, currently at war, and we want to win a war, so that would kind of speak for the war focus in my mind. So I'm not entirely sure what we're going to pick, but I think we're rather going to go for rulership. Carousing. Yeah, I think we're going for rulership here. Yeah, we're gonna go for rulership for now, and let's see how that helps us out. Okay, our heir is our cousin currently, He's unmarried. Well, we're not going to marry him just now. We don't have any sons, but we are married to a lovely lady, Sorella, the Lace Serpent. She is from Myr, and she follows the Red God. She is very paranoid and a cruel lady, very rough, and just as ambitious as we are. So we'll see how things work out between us two. And we need a bodyguard and obviously a Maester. Okay, so I think those are things I can look for later. For now, we're actually going to go for, and as I said, give Tywin Lannister, the Hand of the King, a chance to, well, rescue his king. Well, our king. He's still our king. Now, we're also going to make Prince Rhaegar as a special interest since he is the heir. And then obviously all of the Lord Paramounts just because we want to know what's going on. So as you can see, there's a couple of new traits. Apparently everyone has that one trait. It's a little bit of... Okay, no, he doesn't. He's appealing. Mace Tyrell, you are appealing. So we'll see how many of these lords will actually side with the king or with us, or just stay out of it completely. I mean, I'm definitely expecting Paramount Quellan Greyjoy, who's capable, to completely stay out of this. But we'll see. Then we have Rickard Stark of the North. Very cool man. In the Stormlands, we have Staffan Baratheon, and he has already given birth to Robert. Well, not he personally, but his wife. Given birth to Robert and Stannis, but there's no Renly yet. And then in Dorne, we have obviously Prince Doran, but the young Doran Martell. Okay, I think those are all of the important characters. Obviously, since this is a roleplay, we're also going to have our wife as an important character, and our heir currently is also quite important. So, enough talking. I think we should really go forward and see who is coming to our cause. Well, there we go. We already have someone. Lord Dennis Darklyn. So Jon Arryn, who I have made a important character, coming to our side, and so is Rickard Stark. Now, Rickard Stark probably had a green dream and knew what was going to happen to him if the Defiance of Duskendale goes another way. So, we already have two supporters. Now that definitely makes things different. Obviously the Stormlands, the Riverlands, Dorne and the Reach are supporting the king, yet Tywin Lannister has not yet decided to do anything. Interesting, so he may not help out the king at all. Now what we're going to do is, we can't fight this war, at least not until the Northerners and the Valemen have arrived. So what we're going to do is we're just going to stay in our castle and basically just sit out this war, at least until our reinforcements have arrived. We're making money right now. That's pretty cool. And let's see if we can find a bodyguard. Okay. Yes, you have created that title. Interesting. We need a designated region. We have not yet designated a region. And Prince Rhaegar wants to depose his father. Well, that's very easy. Now, as regent, okay, too many things are happening. I need to pause. We have gained a Maester, so that's very good. So let's actually pause the game very quickly again to have a look at our Maester. Okay, Maester Horace, a Reachman Maester, very zealous, so he's probably not okay with our wife. But we're gonna make him an important character just as well, simply because he is in our council, and council members are obviously quite important characters. Our mother is also very important, and Maester already is, and there's the Septon. Good. Now we do need a designated regent. We need cupbearers. We need all kinds of people. And who do I trust the most? I think I do trust my mother quite a bit. At least, yeah, she likes me. She is my spy master. Although she is very paranoid. I'm not sure if I really trust her all that much. I guess what would work is if I make my wife the regent. I think that would really make quite a lot of sense. So give it to my wife, if I can find her. There is Lady Sorella. We need the Master of Horse. Okay, well that may be something I'm gonna have a look at later. Bodyguard for now would be quite useful. Don't have anyone. Okay, I guess this is something I'm gonna have a look at later on, since I don't really have any clues right now. Let's actually see how this war is going for now. Birchall has done something. Good, I don't care. Now, Rook's Rest is not supporting the king. Interesting. Haha. Very interesting indeed. The Lords of Dorne have approved institution. Okay, yeah. My prisoner King Ares is complaining about his dark cell. You came to kill me. So I think what we're going to do is, well, he's still my king. He is my king. Yet I am wroth. I have a hot temper. And you came here to, well, this is a difficult decision. No, I think you, well, I would like to let him rot. He wanted to kill me, so he's not safe around in my, well, in my castle, so he needs to be locked away. And no, since you've been asking, actually I'm gonna throw in your blood. There you go. Enjoy that. Enjoy living there. Okay. Now the Riverlands are already marching, but the mutants, the House Darklyn actually is not supporting the king either, or their liege lords, the Tullys. But now 7,000 men under the command of Lord Gilbert are coming at us. Is that, who is that? Who's Lord Gilbert? I don't know who Lord Gilbert is. Lord Denley. It must be one of these guys. Perkin, Qualton. Fight or flee, my lord. An enemy host approaches, intent on encircling the castle. Interesting. What shall we do? This castle is impregnable. We will be safest here. Okay. Send my family into hiding. I cannot risk them being captured. Now, since I am brave, I don't think I am going to run away. So I will take my family and hide until it's safe. I'm not gonna hide myself. Certainly not. However, send my family into hiding. Honestly, I don't think so. A proud man. I don't think I will send my family into hiding. Nope. This castle is impregnable. I don't really think it's impregnable, but yeah, we're gonna go with this anyways. And we are now a zealous person. Following the crown's will is more important than anything else. I have gained the zealous trait. Now this actually puts us at odds with our good wife, the Lady Sorella, since we're now zealous. Alright. Well, 9,000 men are now besieging the Dun Fort. So we'll see what our allies can do to help us out here. Now, the Arons have 10,000 men already mustered. At least I saw them, but now they're gone. And then there's Prince Brendan is currently besieging Birch Hall. Okay, so this actually looks rather bad. This does look rather bad, and they have already a siege progress of 11% on our castle. Now we even have a Reachman fleet right here. So things only get worse. But Valemen are slowly coming as well. Now, this is the problem. If we would had, yeah, okay, Birch Hall has already fallen. So has Pallars. Okay, that seems to be the city right here. Okay, well, that doesn't really concern us too much. As I said, we're still going to be at 100% no matter how many castles are sieged. We're only going to lose if our own castle is besieged and we lose the hostage. So we're going to have to make sure that we don't lose the king. But what is our goal in this war? Well, that's very difficult. Basically, what we just wanted to do is gain a new town charter for our city. Now, this is obviously something that I can't implement in this game, so I guess the best we can do is demand to lower crown authority. And Craig Hall has actually... Oh, the Dreadfort has risen up against the Starks. Huh. Interesting. 4,700 men, and so is House Servan. Huh. Okay, interesting. My cousin has expressed a desire to get married and has asked for my permission to find a suitable spouse. Now, I'm gonna find you someone. Since you're my heir, I don't want you to just marry someone. So, I'm gonna find you someone nice. But please don't bother me right now. I have other things to attend to at the moment. We are in a war, in case you have not noticed. We have won the siege of Saltpans. Are you sure we have won that siege? I don't think we have won that siege. Alright, we're gonna go forward. Oh my god. Everyone is going here. At 42% siege progress already. And we're gonna have to decide what we want to do. Now, if basically what happened was, in real canon history, eventually Barristan Selmy was rescued, the king. Now, this is not gonna happen in this playthrough. That's just impossible. So there's nothing that prevents these guys from sieging a castle. Basically, Tywin Lannister was sitting outside of Duskendale, and I will obviously pray for strength. he was sitting outside Duskendale and he didn't dare to attack the town simply because or the Lord Darklyn, Dennis Darklyn, threatened to kill the king. So they didn't attack, and Barristan Selmy then went into the castle, one-man army basically, and rescued the king. And afterwards, being deprived of his hostage, Lord Dennis had no chance but to give in. But this playthrough is going to be a little bit different. We can still... Okay, the Dreadfort has been taken. It hasn't actually been taken, it's just a battle over there. So in this playthrough, we can decide what we're going to do. And I think I'm going to stop this first episode right about when we're at like 80%, or maybe even now. I don't want to risk it that we lose our castle just now. And I want to know what we are supposed, or what I'm supposed to do. Did Tywin join? No, he didn't. What am I supposed to do? Now, I think we are a rough person. We are zealous as well. We could do something very nice with our king. The best decision right now would be to just enforce our demands and win the war, and everything would be over. But I want you guys to suggest something I could do, something fun perhaps. I want you to play the role of my whispering wife, Lady Sarala. So please come up with something sneaky we can do, and I'm gonna actually show you what we could do. I'm not suggesting that we should kill the king, but there are several ways we could end his life. I'm not saying that as I said, I'm not saying we should do this, and it would probably not be good for our family. But if you think this is a good idea, if you think that Lady Sarala would whisper this into our ear to kill the king, then please leave that in the comments below, and if it finds a lot of, well, attention, then I might consider killing the king. We'll see. But this was the end of this first episode, guys. I hope you have enjoyed, and I will see you next time. It's Chief Gironca, signing off.